Hello, Richard, that's Fraser. Welcome back to Railway, and today we're going to be doing the Q&A video what I was talking about. I know that I did say that I was going to do the Henry vs Black 5 today, but that will have to wait until Sunday because I've been asking questions on Facebook and whatnot. Surprisingly, people have actually got back to me about this. So I'm not going to waste any more time. We're just going to dive straight into it. And at the end of the day, we got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 questions anyway. So, so let's get this on the road then. So, Eurostar Lover 009, top 10 favourite characters other than James. So basically what he was asking me is who's my top 10 favourite characters from Thomas, top 10 other than James. Now this is going to be quite hard for me because obviously I do love James, but I'm going to try my best to not mention him in the top 10. So you've got Thomas, which is obvious, Henry and Edward, which again, Gordon, Oliver, Donald and Douglas, Diesel 10, Hero, and last but not least, so if I want to say Diesel. But there you go, there's my top 10 favourite Thomas characters other than besides James. Sometimes they do change, sometimes they don't, but I didn't mention James, so that was by Eurostar Lover 009. So the next person was James Thomas, and he asked me if I've got any plans for any future customs. I have got plans to do quite a lot of customs in the near future. In fact, if you guys give me a minute, I'll get my phone so I can read it out. My old phone so I can read it out. Right guys, I'm back. Right, so as you can see, I've got my old phone here, and I don't know if you can read that, but if not, I'm going to read you out who I've got planned to do. So, my custom agents who I've got planned to do, and this is towards James Thomas, who asked me on Facebook. I've got Boko to plan to do, Sydney, Philip, Duchess, Scruff, Stanley, Molly, Arthur, Bell, Merlin, Flying Scotsman, Porter, Harvey, Neville, Derek, Skip, which I've already done Skip, Rocky, Dark Den, Richard, which I think that was a fan-made one, Timothy, the Ghost Engine, which again is a fan-made one, Hank with Hector, Kenji, Bradford, the Break Van, Frankie, Hurricane, Connor and Samson, and I do plan on doing Caitlin as well to go with Connor. So there's all my customs that I've got planned to do. So that they everyone knows who I've got planned roughly for what I want to do with my customs now. So Turin Hickman, again, if I do it butcher anybody's names, I do really apologise. He asked me what is my favourite Thomas song. Now, I've got a lot of favourite Thomas songs, from Thomas Sheldon Leader to some very old classic ones. But on the top of my head, if I could pick like my top 5, if that's alright with you, my top 5 would be Yod Leader, Night Train, Thomas's Anthem, the Island Song, and James's song, the Splendid Red Engine song, or whatever you call it. And I mean, I have got a couple more like Come for the Ride, and but those 5 just hit home for me, because the Island Song, now that I'm all grown up and everything like that, it really brings back childhood memories for me. Thomas Your Leader just makes me appreciate this little tank engine even more than anything. You know, like I said before, and I'll keep saying this, that little tank engine changed my life, and that's the reason why I like it. And I think that's one of the other questions, actually. No, it's not. Right then, so the next one, Model Train Collector. Favourite Bachmann Thomas model I currently own. Now, that is quite a hard one for me, but I've kind of narrowed it down to 2. Obviously this one is the Sound Thomas. I know the face doesn't look like Thomas, but one thing I love about this one is it's got a lot of power behind him, and he makes this chuffing sound and the whistle sounds, as you guys know. But also, my other favourite Bachmann model, which I haven't run this model for quite some time actually, and that's the Bachmann Daisy, because what the Bachmann did with Daisy is just incredible. They basically took a brand new touring model, right, and made it look like more like a collector's item rather than a toy, which I praise Bachmann for a lot. And I'm hoping that now that they're doing stuff like this, because this is quite a weighty model, I'm hoping that like Ryan and their future models will be like this. And yes, guys, I do plan on, you know, continuing getting the Bachmann lot as well. So, Matthew Sargent, I think that says, what model do I prefer? Do I prefer? To be honest with you, right, I'm not really fussed, to be honest with you. If it's a good model and it runs really well, then that's a good model in my eyes. You know, it don't matter about detail or stuff like that. I mean, yeah, the Hush Hush is one of my favourite models at the minute, but so is my Bachmann lot. So it's kind of a mixed batch, if you know what I'm saying. So yes, I do like Hornby. Yes, I do like Bachmann, but I've never tried Dapple's stuff yet. Never tried Helgen's other than one of their rolling stock, I think. And I would love to try Rapido, and I would love to try that Acura scale as well. So maybe in the future I could look at getting some of those models. If you guys would love to see that, then let me know down in the comments below and I'll take it on board. Right, Tyler Mona, I'm sorry if I botched your second name. How did I get into Thomas? Now, this question, honest to God, right guys, I get this question asked a lot, and to be honest with you, right, it's kind of, again, it's a mixed batch for me with that question, because I've actually asked my mum this quite a while back. How I actually got into Thomas is that my mum just basically sat me down in front of her TV screen, and she just put it on for me, and I just started watching it. But then as I got older, I got like my Tommy toys took away, and stuff like that, because people were telling my mum that I was too old for this baby show. And it's like, well, that's really random to say that Thomas and Friends has got the fan base it's got today, and majority of the fan base is adults. And the reason why people compare Thomas of being a baby show is because of what Mattel's done with it today. Now, that's how I got into Thomas. How did I get back into Thomas? Right, so obviously when I had that person, I'm not going to mention any names because I don't do that on this channel, but when that person said to my mum, right, oh, James can't be a fan of that show, it's too babyish and blah blah blah, I tried going through every other like thing other than Thomas the Tank Engine, but always in the back of my mind I was always going back to it, until back in 2017 I think it were, I was just like, stuff it, I might as well just get back into my trains, get back into Thomas the Tank Engine. And like I said, that's the reason why I've got my YouTube channel, because of Thomas the Tank Engine, thanks to you guys. And that's what I said the other day. And another thing what I'm going to say, it was my girlfriend what actually made me, you know, realise that I should be ashamed of it, to be honest with you. So, that's how I got into Thomas and Friends. And yeah, I have had a lot of backlash. I still get backlash today, like, oh, why do you like that TV show and stuff like that. And I'm just like, it's my life, not yours. So, if you don't like me, there's the door, bugger off out of it. I'm not going to say anything else like that. But you know what I mean? There's the door, bugger off out of it. If you don't appreciate me for what I am or who I am, bugger off. Because I'll tell you this now, right, guys. Thomas the Tank Engine is the friend I needed to make me realise who I was. And I know that might sound far-fetched, me saying that, but that's the truth. Because when I stepped away of, you know, being a fan of this little tank engineer, I didn't know who I wanted to be. And it was really difficult for me, because I just didn't know who I wanted to be anymore. So that's how I got into Thomas and Friends. Massive history between me and the Tank Engine, trust me. So Jordan Raya, what got you into model trains? Now, that's quite an interesting question, actually. To be honest with you, I can't really remember. The only thing I can think of top of my head is because of my granddad. And there he is, the legend. As you guys know, my granddad actually drove Flying Scotsman and Mallard. So that's how I got into trains as a whole. And as soon as I saw, I think I must have been around 10, maybe 9. As soon as I saw, like, you know, trains, you know, this size, I'm going to start showing you this one because there's this size, I just fell in love with them. But yeah, that's how I got into trains, and ever since then, I've always wanted to do my own model layout, whether it was a Soda or of my own layout. But yeah, again, that is an interesting story, because it's like, even when, yet again, when that person will say, oh, James can't be into trains and Thomas and Friends and stuff like that, right? Again, I was going backwards and forwards with my trains, but even though in the back of my mind, I felt like my granddad was telling me, don't be ashamed of it. Because I remember, and I think I talked about this one other time, guys. It's like I remember taking I was little, by the way. I took like an overload track round to my nana's, right? This was when my granddad was still with us. R.I.P. to my granddad. And I set the looper track. Obviously, it was a hard floor anyway, so there wasn't, like, you know, hairs or cotton or anything like that getting into the motors, or the linkage rods or anything. And I ran Flying Scotsman around, and my granddad's face lit up, and I will never forget that memory. And I must have been, what, 10 or 11, and I still remember that with my granddad to this day. So yeah, it's basically thanks to my granddad that that I got into model railway, kind of, because I was always into trains from the get-go anyway. But then as time progressed, it just became more and more of a hobby for me. So there you go, that's how I got into model trains. Again, it's been a long journey for me. Right, Millen Joseph, I can't pronounce that second name. What other shows do you like? So basically what he was asking me, what other shows do I like other than Thomas the Tank Engine? Again, I like Sonic, WWE, well obviously I think you know that, Family Guy, American Dad. Occasionally I like Doctor Who to watch it from time to time. What other shows is that I like? So there's think that's about it. I might have missed them out, but that's all I can think of. So Sonic, WWE, Family Guy, American Dad, and yeah, that's all I can think of. I do apologise if that one was kind of short, but that's all realistically I could think of. Right then, so Sarah Hutchinson asked me, when do you plan on doing a tour of your train room and layout? That's a good question actually, because last tour I did it with my room was completely different, you know, different tables, different everything in this room, and if you guys want to see an up-to-date tour of my room, then I can do that. But do I plan on doing one? Maybe in the near future, but at the minute I don't think I'm gonna. But if you guys want to see another tour room video, then let me know down in the comments below, and I'll take it on board, and you know, and obviously I'll try and, you know, fit it in somehow. So again, yeah, that was a really good question, and quite a quick one to answer actually. Right, so John Paul, sorry if I botched his name. I can't even Fernando or something like that. Am I going to expand my layout? At the minute, no. Because if I just take you real quick. So as you can see up here, that bit there is right up against the wall. And obviously if I show you down here, which I showed you the other day, I need to get to this bit here, because I've got an old Licky meter box here, if you can see. In fact, I'll take you up to it, because I don't think I've ever shown this. I've got this here. So obviously, between me and my landlord, we need to get to this box to empty it out, basically. That's how it works. I mean, I'm only using £2 coins, but I don't plan on expanding my layout, no. But that's the reason why I've tried to put that shelf there, because I am expanding it, but just by a smidge. Because at the end of the day, when I was trying to fit everything to this side and here, it just felt like everything was squished together, if you know what I'm saying. So what I did is, I mean, I have already technically started to extend my layout, so you could say that I have started it already. But if I show you, again, if I can somehow lower you down, if you look, they're on hinges. So you could say that I have extended my layout in some way, but I don't plan on doing it any more than that. Now, if I move to a bigger house where, you know, electric box, and I had an up-to-date electric meter and stuff like that, I might consider it. But at the end of the day, this layout's big enough for me as it is. My trains run on it, and that's realistically all I ask for, to be honest with you. Is that my trains run fine on it, my rolling stock runs fine, and everything is healthy on my layout. But again, that's a really good question, because I don't think anybody's ever asked me that before. I might be wrong about that, but don't hold me. Right, so Joseph Marison, if I said that I'm wrong again, I do apologise. What was my first model? Now, he didn't particularly say what his first what he meant by that, whether it was my first Thomas one or my first Hornby one. But if you're on about like my very first Hornby one, it was this, the Flying Scotsman, and I actually got that as part of a train set back when I was 10, I think. Yeah, got it 1 year for Christmas, and then my second model, I'm looking like answer like, you know, just in case you're on about my first Hornby model, Tom's model, or whatever. So my first Hornby model, as I've just shown you, was the Flying Scotsman. My second model, the year after, believe it or not, was my Hornby James. If you're on about any of my Batman lot, It was an old Batman Thomas but burnt out, unfortunately. But those were my 3 first models. Right, so on the last question now then. And it's by Tim Condrip. Droop. My favourite narrow gauge character. Now again, that is quite a good one, and it's not really something I've really thought of. I've got quite a lot of favourite narrow gauge characters. First one that comes to my mind is Duncan. I don't know why, but it just reminds me a lot of James, and I think that's the reason why I like Duncan. But weirdly, Skarloey has a place in my heart. You know, season 4 Skarloey. He has a really close place in my heart because of what he represents in season 4. And how they handled him in Blue Mountain Mystery. Icing on the cake, seriously, chef's kiss, honest to God. But if I had to pick between those two, actually, I would possibly go more towards Skarloey, just because of that reason alone, what I've just told you. You know, it's like in one of the episodes in season 4, he breaks down, and he still gets his train home, and you know, that's the reason why I really do like Skarloey, and I think he's a good role model for today's generation. Same with Hero, but then again, I'm not talking about standing gauge. I'm talking about N-gauge. But yeah, I really enjoyed this video today, guys. If you want me to do this again in the future, say for instance, if I reach... Right, I'm going to give you a milestone then. I'm going to say 365. If I reach 365 subscribers, I would really love to do this again. And I might even take some of... I'm going to say this to all the people who's been watching, obviously messaging different questions. I might even take some of the other questions on board and actually put those into a video instead. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching this video today. Like, again, I have really enjoyed this because I've never done it before and I've always wanted to do it. Wait, oh yes, someone asked me what's my favourite class. One minute. I think I've actually forgotten about someone. I'm sure I have. Right, I've just come across it, guys. I do apologise to this person because it's by Ashley Demos, and she asked me what is my favourite class locomotive. Again, that is a really good one, but a really tough one. If you're on about like type of styles of locomotive, then I would go for like the LNER. If that is a class, I think it might be, but my favourite class is class 66. Hush Hush I like, LNER I like, obviously. LMS I do like, even though I've only got one of them. And GWR I do like as well. I do apologise actually about that actually. I just literally just remembered. I was like, wait, I'm sure someone's asked me no question, but obviously someone did. But yeah, LNER will always be my favourite class of locomotives. Because obviously they hold a special place in my heart because of Grandad. And and like I said, right then, so now I can actually finish up. I thought to myself, I was like, wait, I'm sure that I've got someone else to write down. But like I said, I've really enjoyed this video today. Please subscribe to my channel because we're nearly on 330. So I am really looking forward to seeing, you know, possibly some more videos in the near future to see what they do to the channel. Right, so what's coming out Sunday if I'm doing anything. Right. I don't really know what I'm doing Sunday just yet, but just leave it with me and we'll figure something out. Because I can't well, I could do, but then I can't do the points test because I have swapped a lot of stuff around on my layout. Because one of my points will shot my controller out, guys. Every time I do those points over way near Knapford Station, every time I open those, my controller just not work. But yeah, guys, I have really enjoyed this video today. Please subscribe to my channel. Please comment down below what you thought of this video. Please like this video because I am not really getting much likes. I did on my last one, but like on my Hush Hush, go and watch that video. It was quite a good video. But I haven't really got much else to say other than thank you for watching this video today. By the way, to everyone who asked me, who had questions, thank you so much. I do really appreciate some of the questions you guys asked me. Because this has been like an adventure for me type of thing. It's been interesting to see what different questions people's got. But again, who knows, I might do another one of these in the near future, so keep your eyes out for that, guys. But other than that, I haven't really got much else to say other than thank you for watching this video today. Have a lovely day, and I guess I'll see you later on, guys. So it's too bit than like I guess I'll see you later, guys, and have a lovely day, and I'll see you later. Alright then, bye everyone.